gonna do my normal thing where I listen to a song first, and I have Frank Ocean's "Lost" in my head. Girl, you know you're lost. Yeah. I like that song. I feel like I've been listening to that song for so many years, like a lot of years. It's on a lot of yoga playlists that I have made over, I don't know, several years. Anyway. I like to listen to a song because I get all these garbage thoughts out first. Not garbage, but just like useless. You don't fucking need to hear about that. It's also my way of, working through the bullshit in order to get to the point where I can just fucking say what I want to say without beating around the bush. So let's go. That's why I didn't listen to it. I was like, I gotta go now because things are affecting me differently today. All right, so there's not even like a story that goes along with it. I mean, there's like, sure, backstory for as to why I am this way at this particular juncture. But long story short, I've got the anxiety and the depression. And they, just like the ocean tide, flow in and out. And sometimes the waves are really big, sometimes the waves are not so big. It's just like grief. And I can't just rationalize why I don't need to feel this way. And that's what I do all the time. I'm rationalizing everything. I'm trying to make everything make sense all the fucking time. All the fucking time. Because if it makes sense, then I can get on board. Hence the incessant talking and dissecting of things. Which I feel like sometimes having anxiety makes me, so inquisitive, and I learn a lot of things that maybe I wouldn't have learned if I wasn't so curious about trying to figure out how to not feel so terrible. Am I being dramatic? I'm not sure. Anyway, it just got to a point today where I really recognized, not only recognized, but was willing to admit that my anxiety is unmanageable on my own. It's the depression and anxiety together, like one cheers the other one on, and then they're both like, now you do it, and then they just, they're like two fucking rebellious teenagers that just need to grow up and move on. Maybe I associate it with teenagehood because that's when it was like the onset for me. It's typical, I think, for a lot of people. Your hormones are all fucking different. And you're having this, it's not the first of your major identity crises. You have an identity crisis when you separate from the mother, and then when you go into whatever you go into, whether that's daycare, preschool, elementary school, but then you have a whole nother identity when you're in middle school, and then a whole nother identity when you're in high school. You think you know who you are, and you fucking don't. Well, I didn't anyway. There are certain parts of me, like tucked over in the corner, like the me, like the real me that's always been there. Not good, right, bad, wrong, just that vein. I'll call it like the skeleton of who I am. Anyway, let's get to the point. So I was like, fuck, I can't do this. And I've mentioned it before, but I'm like, I don't want to be on meds. Remember, I was talking about it. If you listen to it, I don't know, some episode from a while ago. One of the reasons is because I don't want to be reliant on a pill. I don't want to do that. Because it seems like I should just be able to do the work, do the fucking work, do the work, do it all the time. Just do it all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I got you, cool. And some of us have to maybe like do more work than others. So I'm like, working on it. Change your fucking mind. Come on, stop feeling that way. Stop it. It's like that. It is incessant. The trying to change of the mood. Until I get to do the thing or things that I love the most. When I am coaching, God, I love it. And like, typically for an hour, I'm like looking at the clock and looking at all the people. How you doing over here? You good? What do you need? What do you got? What about that? Can I give you something? What about you? And it sounds very overwhelming, but it's like my favorite thing. What can I give to you? How can I help you? How can I make this a better experience for you? Not, and it's genuine and pure because I just want that for people. Because I want that myself. It's not, at least it doesn't reek of desperation the way some of my other actions do. It's not like, oh, I want this experience to be better for you because I want you to recognize me and then I gave you that experience or help facilitate that experience. I'm not gonna deny that. I fucking love when that shit happens. But no, really, I just want you to have a good time, you know, because it's good for you. Let's bring it back. So, been very resistant to medication. When I was in the hospital in 2015, when I got out, I was prescribed an antidepressant and then an anti-anxiety. And the anti-anxiety was like, you can take up to 4 of these a day. And they just like kept autofilling these big, huge bottles. And it was, I don't know, so I accumulated all these fucking pills and I didn't really take them. The anxiety ones, and that's what I am on now for in case of emergency, and usually the emergency is I'm getting tattooed. That's really the only time I take them, because I hate it so fucking much. It's such a miserable experience. I'm like really quite traumatized by this last thing. Traumatized sounds very dramatic. I'm really turned off. Let's say that. Anyway, why the fuck am I talking about tattoos? Yes, okay, because that's when I take it's like a rescue inhaler. It's a rescue anxiety pill. Like, I need something right now, but it's not, like, it doesn't put me down the way Xanax was. I guess we're not allowed to have Xanax. I don't know, because it's addictive. Okay, fine. This was like before. I don't know, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, and then I'll only ever take it if my anxiety is like so bad. Like just so bad I can't take it. And it doesn't knock me out the way Xanax does. I can keep going doing whatever I'm doing if I'm doing something. But then once it comes time to stop, then I'm like fucking dead. Because maybe it's not the medication. I mean, it probably is a little bit, but it's probably also how worked up I had to get in order to submit to taking medication to make me feel better instead of just like changing the scenery or what I'm doing or something like that. So I was like, I gotta fucking say something. I have to say something. So I did, and well, here we are. I'm gonna take medicine now. I'm going to take medicine now to feel better all the time. I don't feel good about it. I don't want to do that. I just want to fix everything by myself. But it's a very conservative approach. Very small dose of Lexapro. Ooh, I don't like saying that out loud. I feel very embarrassed. But here's the point. Why I'm saying this out loud. Because you know who talks about this shit? Kristen Bell. Dax Shepard's wife. Do I have an obsession with that family? Yes, I do. In a very healthy way. I just look up to them. Like mom and dad, which like they call themselves mom and dad to everyone. Kristen talks about the fact that she's on antidepressants. And she's a lovely human being. And she's tiny. She's not a big, whale from taking her antidepressants or whatever the fuck she takes. What I admire about them the most is how vulnerable they are and generous they are in their sharing of who they really are and what they really struggle with, because it's given me so much support when I feel silly. Like right now I feel super embarrassed to admit that I'm going to take this pill. It's sitting right here because I was like, think about it, do it on film. Why? It's not like accountability. No, this is just real. This is what's really happening. And it's accountability for me too, so that I can look back at this. I'm telling you, because I have a really bad memory. I don't know if you've gathered that before, because maybe this is the first time that you're ever watching this episode. I have a really bad memory, and so if I document things, then I can go back and I can remember stuff. Duh. I mean, that's why we document anything, isn't it? Okay, so it's only a half a pill. It's really small. It's really little. I'm going to take it with this Georgia peach seltzer. Georgia peach. Dan's mom is from Savannah, Georgia. Some people call her Peach. She's a really lovely lady. She liked me the whole time. Whole time. His dad did too, but you know. Anyway. So here we are on the medication. I don't feel good about it, personally, just for my own self, because if it was, here's the point. If it was just me by myself, or like me, Michael Katz, I would just keep living with the misery. I would just live with it. I would just live with it. But I have children, but I also have like other people too, you know, like I have Chris, and that's really important to me. I would like to be a sane person for those people. I would like to be a better version of myself for those people, and then in turn for all people. Because if I'm over here on a fucking hamster wheel of self-deprecation, paranoia, and like nightmarish thoughts, what fucking good am I for anyone? And that's what I'm here for, is for other people. Chris always jokes, well, I mean, I think it's a joke. Whenever I say like, oh, thanks for doing that, he'll say, I'm here for you. But he says it in a way that's like he resents it, you know? Because he's got this fucking fireman sense of humor. And it's really, you know, it's tough to take sometimes. They cut deep. Like, very deep. It's a sacred relationship to me. So, nobody made me do anything. I'm just putting that out there. This is a decision that I am making. I would like to have my shit handled, and right now it's not being handled, and I need help. So I asked for help. And I got help, and then I also need to get the talking help. I'm going to do that. Can someone please ask me? Better help. There's got to be a code from Dax, you know what I'm saying? There always is. So we'll do that, and then, yeah. Still do the things to help myself, like, you know, go to the gym and run and like all the positive things that I do, but this is just, oh yeah, you know, in yoga, maybe you don't know because this is very specific and it doesn't matter, who cares. But like Bikram yoga, he says there's no props. We don't use any props. You don't need props. He's just such an arrogant bastard. The practice is a good practice, but that guy's a douche. So he like boasts that they don't use any props. So Baptiste yoga is like, hey, there's props here if you need them. Iyengar yoga is like prop central. Baron studied with both of these people. So anyway, I like to say props are like, by a prop, can I say it a few more fucking times? It would be like a block or a strap, or both of those things. The block is nice, because if you're in a position where you kind of need to get your hand down towards the ground, you bring the ground to you by put your hand on the block, so you're just filling in the space. It's like stilts for your hands, or stilts for your feet. No, you wouldn't put a stilt underneath your feet. In yoga? No, but underneath your hips or underneath your knees? Yeah, it's just extra support. Ain't no shame in a prop game. Oh, I'm so glad I have found this little watercolor painted picture of how I feel about taking fucking medication. It's just a happy little prop. You know, like a happy little accident or happy little trees. it's just a prop for my mental health, so I can like get back to, let's get on with it, you know? We got shit to do. Can't be being a nutcase, wasting a whole bunch of time crying over nothing. Can't do it. It hurts, and then it exhausts me, and then I can't do other things, like love this dog. So, yeah, here we are. You should ask for help if you need it. Just fucking do it. And you don't have to go telling the whole world like I do. Or maybe that does something for you. It does something for me. Just contributing, not just. My intention is to contribute to the conversation, the ongoing conversation. You know, it's fucking 2021, man. We're in a lot of conversations that we didn't used to have, which is fantastic, you know? Not all of them are productive conversations. And everybody's got a fucking opinion. Why wouldn't you have an opinion? But we don't all have opinions about the same things. And we certainly don't have the same opinions about some things. That's okay. Yeah, asking for help. August is a good month to do that. It's a crusher, I'll tell you.